morning, beautiful ones. I received a phone call this morning from an individual who had some questions, and so I decided to answer his questions with some YouTubes. So the question is how can you sustain arousal for longer periods of time so that you can keep from ejaculating before you want to. So the question is really about premature ejaculation. And what I want to talk about there is that, for one thing, men can experience so much more than they have ever imagined. Men can have multiple orgasms. They can have orgasms, full body orgasms, and orgasms without ejaculating, and so much more expanded pleasure than they ever imagined. But it's not something that they generally figure out on their own. And the reason for that is because there's a few reasons for that. For one thing, men are hardwired to achieve a goal. And that is across the board in every part of their life. They're hardwired to achieve a goal, and that's great. You get things done. We love that. And the thing of it is that in your sexuality, your body is also hardwired to achieve a goal, and that is to procreate and to keep the species going. And so your body is hardwired to just get that done, and so it wants to ejaculate. And most men think that ejaculation is orgasm, and it's not. And isn't that actually a really great piece of information? Wow, if you've never experienced an orgasm without ejaculation, and I'm going to say if you've always just ejaculated and not experienced that profound feeling throughout your whole body, you've not even had an orgasm. You've had an ejaculation, and you've just experienced ejaculations. And that's what you do to keep the species going. And that's great. However, some of us and some of you are on a path to learning a better way. And the key to that is, to start with, just becoming more present in your body with your feelings. And so when you are feeling in your body, to just notice where you're feeling, and not let your body go into that space of, oh, I've got to hurry up or I want to ejaculate. It has to do with breathing and being present to what is going on inside your body, and actually noticing your body. You can bring that energy up through your whole body with focused attention and breathing. It's not something that men generally figure out how to do by themselves. They usually need to have a guide in order to guide them into that space, so that it's an embodied knowledge. It's something that you can't just read about it. I can't just talk about it for you. I can tell you that it has to do with breathing and imagining that energy coming up from the base of your spine, and breathing and imagining it coming up all through your body, a bit at a time, just a bit at a time, and paying attention to that. And eventually that will guide you into actually being able to have an orgasm without ejaculating. it also does a whole lot more for you. First of all, it makes you a much better lover. And it also gives you, it just changes a man's way of being, and the way he holds himself. It changes him because it gives him confidence. It gives him confidence because he knows that he has mastered that energy and it is no longer running him. Instead, he's in control of that. And that is very, very sexy when a man has that kind of confidence. How can you actually tell if somebody has that kind of confidence, or if it's just egotistical and unconscious, kind of pretensive confidence? The difference would be in how present a man can be in his whole life, and in how he treats others, how he speaks to them, because everything is just energy. And our sexual energy, our life force energy, is what runs us, and it is what runs our whole body, our whole being. And if we're conscious of that, we are also conscious of the way that we speak to people. We're conscious of the way other people are feeling. We are capable of, we understand ourselves enough so that we can process our own thoughts and feelings within our body, because we've paid attention to that so deeply in our own body as to how we feel, that we can actually be there for another. And that is so important in your relationships and in lovemaking. It's not just about sex and how long you can last, but if you do learn the practices and actually spend some time with that, and learning your own body and learning how to run that energy through your whole body, you will become present to a lot of things that you never noticed before within yourself, and it will give you an understanding of how to be there for another significant other. And so that's a little bit of that. And thank you for your questions. I will try to answer any more of your questions as best as I can on a YouTube. So you can send them to me. You can send them to me in a text or in an email. My website is sacredgardenoftantra.net, and I would love to be able to help you out as much as possible so that you can have a life and love of bliss. Namaste.